Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life.
Welcome back to Daily Influence. Today, we're excited to bring you one of our most listened to episodes. Whether it's your first time hearing it or you're revisiting it for a fresh perspective, we hope you enjoy this insightful conversation. Stay inspired.
Hey everybody, Brian Smith here with the I Am Team series and the Daily Influence. And we are going to finish up our week of using individualism for individualism, the ultimate oxymoron. And what we mean by that is being your best self for other individuals, being your best self, being selfish and your best self for larger individuals, one to many others coming together as one. And we've gone through the week and we're at situation awareness, and earning respect was yesterday. And earning respect from others, holding yourself accountable, being consistent, those things require situation awareness. And it's often difficult to maintain or even understand what situation awareness even means. Situation awareness is not just understanding our surroundings. There's so much more to what situation awareness is. Situation awareness is living in the present and being conscious about what's happening around you. Most of us, so many of us, go through life on autopilot in our comfortable focus. And as a result, we miss what's going on around us. We miss the things that are happening. Having situation awareness is so much more than just knowing, though, what's just going around presently, just in our area of influence, the environment. I'm not just talking about the environment, I'm talking about understanding what our behavior and actions are, understanding when we're inconsistent and when inconsistent behavior and when inconsistent things will influence the things in our life, what those consequences could or should be, what the challenges that are being created by that behavior or by the behavior of others. Understanding others' behavior, having situation awareness of the consequences or the challenges that can come from their behavior. All of this is about situation awareness. All of this feeds understanding and having situation awareness, and how we can become influential in our situation awareness, how we can use it to, well, make ourselves our best self. One area that I find that is always present for me in my situation awareness is delegation. And you have to be situationally aware even when you delegate. And what do I mean by that is that when you delegate something to somebody, you might be delegating a task. You might be delegating even a whole part of a larger mission. But when you delegate that, if you're the leader, you don't delegate accountability. You don't delegate responsibility. You don't delegate the fact that you still own a piece of that, which means that you need to remain situationally aware of what's going on. And how do you do that? How do you maintain your pulse on a task or a project or a mission when you've delegated it? And these are the things that we need to think about when we maintain situation awareness. These are the things that we have to think about to be consistent and to be able to be accountable and to hold people accountable. How can you hold somebody accountable for something that you've delegated if you don't maintain some form of situation awareness in what you've delegated? And I don't mean micromanaging it and taking control of it. I mean having enough situation awareness to be effective, to be positive, to be your best self so that they can be their best self. I never delegate accountability, especially in our organization. The ultimate accountability for us to our clients lies with me. It lies in the fact that I hired the right people. It lies in the fact that I set up how those people were onboarded and trained. I have set up how we communicate. I've set up how our culture is. I've set up the policies and procedures. And even though I might have outsourced or delegated individual parts of each of those areas of influence in our organization, I am the person in charge of our organization, so I am the person who's accountable. And I never give up more than I can accept accountability for, which means that when I started a company, I accept the ultimate accountability for what that company does. And I have to, through my actions, through my consistency, through my behavior, through my words, through my communication, be situationally aware enough to maintain that accountability where I have that comfort. And that can be difficult and it can be challenging and it can be scary, but there are lots of ways to do that. And it goes through all of the things that we've been teaching through the daily and through influence, through our work at the I and Team series about communication and smart and all of the different aspects of what we teach here all lead to an ability to be situationally aware in an effective way as our best self for others. Situation awareness is also subjective. It can mean different things to different people. As our areas of influence grow, as our responsibilities grow, our need to be situationally aware grows. And we should be growing and expanding our abilities to be situationally aware as our responsibilities grow, as our leadership becomes more influential, as the decisions we make create more opportunities for others, as we became a larger and better self and influence more others within the larger individuals we belong to. As that expands and grows, we need to grow with that growth, grow with that responsibility, our ability to be situationally aware. It means adapting, it means creating opportunities, it means understanding the environments we work in, it means communicating, it means all of the above. And I have had a number of opportunities in my life to challenge situation awareness. I've had a number of opportunities in my life to have it fail and to point out why my situation awareness didn't fail. I've also had them where they've helped me to be successful. Some of them don't have anything to do with business. Some of them have to do with just everyday areas of influence we find ourselves in. One of them is when I fly. Renee and I fly often. I've always flown often. And when we get on an airplane, no matter how many times we've been on an airplane, Renee is very much into going through the safety procedures, reading the safety book, paying attention to the safety messages, really understanding individually in that area of influence, in that present moment, what that means. Me, I have a different way of doing it. I've been on hundreds, maybe even 1,000 flights in my career, but I still am situationally aware. I count the number of seats between the exit and where I sit down. I look around and see the type of people that are around me. And these are things that I do in all of my physical areas. I just make myself aware of my surroundings. I also make myself aware of what's happening in my surroundings. I try to see how people are behaving. I try to look if there is agitation or if there's happiness. I try to make myself aware of the temperature, the behavioral temperature of the environments I'm in. It helps me to, well, be better, to be my best self in those environments. Also, I feel more protected. I have less anxiety. I have better understanding. And so when I had an opportunity on an airplane to have something dramatic happen, it decompressed. I didn't freak out. And I didn't freak out because the people around me didn't freak out. And the people that did were surrounded by others that did, and that can be infectious. But when two groups come together and they counter each other, the more situationally aware group was the one that finally was able to get everybody calmed down. And it is through being situationally aware in any area of influence. And I don't care if it's high stress, low stress, sales, leadership, when you're able to maintain consistently who you are and maintain consistently the culture and the temperature and the environment that you're in, you can help to be a better person in those areas of influence. We use this in our way to do our work at IA. We become situationally aware in our clients' offices. We learn about their policies and procedures. We learn about their people. We even do assessments of their personalities. We do all of that to become situationally aware in how those people are, how they do their business, how they react with each other, how they work with each other. And it's really an important part of understanding the areas of influence that we have as we move through different businesses, as we move through different engagements, as we pivot through all of the different areas of influence that we have. And you can do that also. And the way that we do that, and it's very simple, how do I become situationally aware of the different environments that I'm in? You ask questions. When we ask questions about those environments. We ask questions about whatever it is that we are being put into that we need to be situationally aware of. If it's an office environment, if it's a relationship with somebody, if it's a task, if it's a mission, if it's a goal, we become situationally aware of those things by asking questions. And when we do that, we become more understanding. We have an opportunity to be more consistent, and we can understand what accountability will mean in those areas of influence. And it will help us to communicate better. And through that communication, we can be better and be our best self. Do not fall into the trap as a leader of do as I say, not as I do. That's not being a leader. It's not okay to be in an environment and be the person who only uses words but doesn't back that up. And that is also part of being situationally aware, being aware of yourself, your actions, and others. If you find yourself in one of those areas of influence where people don't do as they say, if they only say the words but they do something that's opposite of that, use accountability, use the opportunity to be aware of that situation to help correct it and improve it and make it better. Key takeaways about situation awareness today are situation awareness is about living in the present and being conscious about what's going on around you. It only takes a moment. It only takes a moment to understand your surroundings. It only takes a moment to pay attention to the people in your areas of influence. It only takes a moment to see that somebody might be struggling through their body language, through their actions, through their words, through their tone. It takes a moment to slow down and understand the situation you find yourself and to apply lessons of leadership, empathy, communication, caring to help pivot and move through those situations and make them better. To be fully situationally aware, you need to have full context. Avoid making assumptions through subjectivity. Be objective. When you identify that there's something going on, ask the questions, dig to the root cause, get to the bottom of it, gain context, and make sure you have full context. Don't stop yourself midway because you think you know. Make sure that you know. And then being aware may mean keeping track of a project timeline through a dashboard, having somebody help you, but you have to create areas of influence where you can remain situationally aware even when you delegate, even when you pass on tasks for others. Because just because you passed on a task that might have been given to you, that doesn't mean you're passing on accountability. It doesn't mean you're passing on responsibility. It means something much different. You need to define those things. If you're trying to pass on accountability and responsibility, you better be clear about it, because if you're not, then you still maintain it. I hope that we are coming or creating for you an opportunity to understand individualism and being best self, and how individualism, using individualism for the growth of you and the growth of your teams is an oxymoron, but it is so powerful. And we're going to recap this and talk about influence, and really what the I in team really was meant to be, which is influence. Hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you again next week.